It's a great honor to be part of the 42nd Indian Social Science Congress being held in the Keat University, and it's a great occasion to be here. And the fact that I'm here today as part of this conference, digitalization has its own impact, has its linkage with it. So Dr. Kerr and myself are connected on WhatsApp through social media. And when he got to know that I'm in the city, he requested if I can be part of this Congress. So WhatsApp, social media, a product of digitalization, has some role to play in my being here today with all of you. So it's a wonderful moment to be here. A couple of months ago, I was addressing a similar gathering in one of the prestigious engineering colleges in Bangalore. And after my session, some of the professors came to me and then said, Mr. Mohapatra, we don't have the charm of teaching anymore. This was told by some of the professors. I said, why? What happened? One of the lady professors told me, look, today students challenge us in the class. Whatever we teach them, at the end of the class they will meet us and then say, ma'am, we searched in Google, this is what we found, and what you said in the classroom and what they found out are different. So ma'am, most likely you were wrong. This is putting us in a very difficult situation. We don't enjoy teaching anymore. The students don't pay attention. They're on their digital platforms, on social media platforms, they're in Google. Google Acharya seems to be a real Acharya, and it's not the Acharyas in colleges and universities. So that's a challenge that the university professors are facing today. Let me share with you a couple of examples. Those of you know how to drive a car, and used to drive a car about 10 years ago, and if you're going somewhere with your spouse, it so happens that your spouse will get down and help you park the car. The spouse will tell you, hey, now come to the left, now turn right, hey, go back all over again and start all over again because you might hit the pillar. That's what the spouse is to tell the other half. Today, if you know that most of the cars come with, they come with reverse cameras, rear cameras with sensors fitted into it. And it can tell you how many millimeters you are away from the pillar, and it will help you park precisely, very well, seamlessly, without any problem. So if you are the husband, what is the good news for you? Okay, if you don't want to start with the good news, let's start with the bad news. What is the bad news first? Let's make this session interactive rather than making it a monologue. What is the bad news? Your wife used to be a subject matter expert and she was helping you park the car well. Now her role as a subject matter expert goes away. Her role disappears. Bad news. Like many of us are losing our jobs. The wife also loses her job. What's the good news, ladies and gentlemen? You don't have to listen to her. Maybe. Yes. One good aspect is the wife doesn't disappear. The job disappears, the role changes, but the wife remains there. So that's a good news. So while technology is going to take away our jobs, our roles, we are going to exist, ladies and gentlemen. We are not going to disappear. But we just need to prepare for the changing environment. We need to prepare for the changing environment. And there's a lot happening around us. Believe me, there's a lot happening today. Some of these are mind-boggling changes. The rate at which change is happening today, the phenomenal pace at which change is happening today is incredible. Change has never happened at this pace in the past. All the data that we're talking about big data, we're talking about analytics, all the data that you can see in this world which were generated in the last 50 years, 50% of that was created in the last 2 years. It is mind-boggling. So big data is going to change almost everything. Artificial intelligence, robotics, automation, rapid process automation, etc. These things are going to change the way we live, we communicate, we talk, we go on a holiday, we go on a tour, we engage with our customers. It's going to change everything. It has already changed most of it. So who can survive this change? This change is rapid, this change is incredibly fast, and the change, by the time you kind of wake up, by the time you get knocked down by one wave of tsunami, by the time you wake up, another wave has come and knocked us down again. So who can really survive this change? One great example is Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. Professor Vajpayee was talking about Amitabh Bachchan's son, but Mr. Bachchan himself is a great example of how one can survive change, only with adaptability and flexibility. So somebody who started as a romantic hero, became an angry young man, played a character role, went to the small TV, the idiot box, and started anchoring the shows. He became a villain. He kept on adapting himself as the whole world was changing. The whole cine world was changing. The Bollywood industry was changing. Most of the contemporary actors of his time, many of them have just disappeared. We don't get to see them. They have perished. But he is one person, one actor who has survived till today and is doing phenomenally well as a professional. So the most important thing that we need to teach our young generation is adaptability, flexibility, and we need to teach them how to become comfortable with discomfort. Because in future, we are only going to deal with discomfort every day. It's going to be about change. It's going to be about moving out of our comfort zones. It's going to be about doing something that we haven't done before. So how do you really enable our next generation to become comfortable with discomfort? How to become comfortable with ambiguity? How to become comfortable with complexity? How to become comfortable with volatility? If we can do that, they will pick up the rest. Professor Saugat Mitra, a very eminent educationalist, did a very interesting experiment. And he calls this experiment a hole in the wall. He went to a slum in Delhi, and that slum was in the outskirts of the city, and he installed there a computer. There was a slum school, and in that school he installed a computer with internet connection. 3 months later he went back there, and he found that the kids in that slum are using that computer seamlessly. They had no exposure to computers before, but very seamlessly, kids from a kid who is a 4-year-old to a 14-year-old kid, all of them are using this computer very, very seamlessly. They're playing games, they're studying, they're downloading videos, and so on. So he was really excited and impressed with that finding, and he declared that the future of education is a self-organized system. This is a system which will organize itself. People challenged him. Other educationalists said, not possible. Delhi, capital city of the country, some software engineer would have landed up there, and he or she would have taught them how to use computer. So determined to carry on with this experiment, Dr. Mitra went to a small village in Tamil Nadu, far away from the cities, a village, and then where people can't speak English, the teachers can't speak English, the students can't speak English. He went there, he installed a computer in a village school, which probably has power outage for a long time every day, and he installed that computer with internet connection. He went back there after about 4 months, and he was surprised to find what he found there. Kids were asking him, "Sir, why this computer is slow? Why is the processor so slow? Can't you not give us a faster computer? Why this doesn't speak Tamil?" And so on. He was surprised. So he concluded that education, the future of education, is going to be a self-organized system. I can help you relate to this better I come from Bangalore. I live there. Bhubaneswar is my hometown. But I'm living there for my profession. And those of you who have been to Bangalore would have been familiar with Bangalore traffic. And you can get stuck in a traffic junction for about 30 minutes. You can just be feeling helpless, hopeless, breaking your head against the steering. You can do all kinds of things, but traffic doesn't move. So he was saying, in India, in the traffic signals, there are traffic signals. In the traffic junction, there are traffic signals. And he says, imagine that you are at one such traffic junction, and suddenly the traffic lights stop working. What happens there? Anybody's guess would be chaos, isn't it? It's absolute chaos. Everybody is trying to barge in, everybody is trying to cut corners, everybody is trying to get past other guy in whichever possible manner and so on. But he's saying in India something interesting happens. This chaos continues for about 10 minutes or so. Then after that something happens.
People make their own way.
Some good guys will get down from their cars. They will start regulating the traffic. They will start, managing the traffic. People will start, the vehicle drivers will start maneuvering and then moving. And it so appears that some kind of invisible traffic signals are working. Interestingly, some invisible traffic signals are at work. He said this is a self-organizing system. A system which organizes itself. You don't have to bring systems, you don't have to bring policies, you don't have to bring processes. System will take care of itself. People will take care of it. The same thing is going to happen in organizations. Organizations are now talking about self-empowered organizations, where managers are telling people, you decide your leave structure, you decide who goes on leave, you decide the working roster. They're trying to empower the people so that people are taking greater ownership. Because in the future that you're talking about is not going to be the 9 to 5 working time. It's not going to be working in the office alone. You can be at doctor's clinic, waiting for your turn, for the doctor to see you. You might be finishing a few emails on your smartphone. That's what is happening today. You might be at the airport and you might be in a conference call just before boarding the flight. So the concept of work is changing. The 9 to 5 work timings have gone away. The concept of full-time employment is slowly going away. And the concept of multiple employment, people working for multiple organizations at the same time, is also gaining popularity. You may not have seen that widespread today, but it has already happened in the West. It has started to happen in India as well. So there are changes happening all around us. And some of these changes, as I said, are mind-boggling. And in addition to all these changes at the workplace, we're also seeing a few other things, which I am seeing myself in my own eyes. So people in their mid-40s are suddenly becoming jobless because they don't have the relevant skills to carry on their jobs. With automation coming in and then kind of taking away jobs, virtually taking away all kinds of jobs, people who are like vice presidents or general managers of companies, suddenly they lose a job, they don't find another one. They don't find another one because the industry is not looking at them, somebody who has the relevant skills. So people in the mid-40s are going to have very, very challenging times because they are not keeping pace with Mr. Amitabh Bachchan has kept pace, but many of our people in the mid-40s are not really keeping pace with the change. Especially in IT, ITS industry, we're talking about BPO industries, etc. Senior leaders were known for managing thousands of people. They had thousands of people working for them. Today, organizations don't need thousands of people. If you don't need thousands of people, if there was a process which was running with 1,000 people, had one general manager, if that process had been reduced to 50 people process, they don't need a vice president to manage 50 people. And this vice president has lost his skills because all that he has been doing for the last few years is managing his stakeholders and managing his people. He or she hasn't upskilled himself or herself. So that's what is happening today in the industry. So people are becoming jobless, people's roles are changing, so they are struggling to equip themselves for new schools and so on.
What's happening in the education space? In the education space, some interesting statistics. About 800 colleges, professional education colleges in India are closing down in a year. Can you believe it? About 800 are getting closed every year.
Mostly engineering colleges.
Mostly engineering colleges. Very, very startling.
MBA also.
Yes.
Yes. Management, B schools and engineering colleges closing down. About 800 of them on an average every year. The number could rise.
But you also remember that they are opening at the same rate.
They are also opening at the same rate.
They will get faster.
Yes. So many of them will also die down if they don't keep pace with the change. So now the question is, how does this university education prepare itself for the change that's happening? Another big threat that is coming in the way of educational institutions is that the non-conventional courses like the MOOC courses, massive open online courses, which are being offered by the best of universities today, or even organizations like Coursera, edX, Udacity, Udemy, etc., are coming as a big threat to these universities. Education has become more modular. You don't have to go through a 4-year of engineering course to become a software engineer. If you're a software geek, just go and do a MOOC course on Java or cloud computing or Hadoop or something. Get yourself upskilled in a particular module which is relevant, rather than going through 4 years of education and then be ready for the industry. Because by the time you complete this 4 years of education, you find that whatever you have learned in the classroom is obsolete. So they are becoming a big threat. Very recently, Google has announced we are not particular about qualifications. I don't know if you see, we have read that in newspapers or not. Yes, we're not going to look at if you have the skill set, if you have the talent, if you have the right attitude, we are going to recruit you. We don't care whether you are a BTech or an MTech or MBA, it doesn't matter. Even if you are not a BTech or MBA, but if you have the right skill set, right technology knowledge, right attitude, then we are willing to hire you. And more, I am sure now that the Google has announced it, I'm very sure more and more organizations will come forward and make a similar statement. There are many organizations today which are not really looking at qualification. So then what's going to be the future of university education? If education becomes modular, if organizations do not really look at educational qualification, I still believe is a far cry. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's still going to take a long time by the time we get there. But how do you really prepare ourselves for that? There are a few things that I can talk about here. One is the university and corporate partnership, university industry partnership, which is absolutely essential. Since I come from Bangalore, I at least know about 3 or 4 engineering colleges in Bangalore, which colleges have either Microsoft or HP or IBM running their incubation center inside the campus. So these organizations like Microsoft are funding setting up of incubation centers in universities. They are giving the technology know-how, colleges are providing the infrastructure, and students and the faculty, the corporates and the campus are working together to create technologies for the future, to create innovation for the future, to create talent for the future. And those people who are showing exceptional talent in these projects and programs are getting picked up by those corporates. Traditionally, corporates complain that the students who are passing out of these universities do not meet the standards. They are unemployable. I question this statement very often. I challenge our HR leaders in the industry. I said, what is the corporate industry, what is the Indian industry doing to bridge the gap? It's very easy to blame universities. It's very easy to say that universities are not creating students who are employable. But what is the responsibility of corporate India? What is the responsibility of the industry bodies? What is the responsibility of the industry leaders? What can they do to bridge the gap? So this incubation center is a great example. Not many of them have adopted it, but few have adopted them. and they're really seeing exceptional results. Some of the universities have roped in corporate industry experts as mentors. I myself am a mentor in a B school for 10 students. Every year, this university invites me, every year when they start their academic session, they invite industry leaders like me, and I'm one of the 8 industry mentors for that B school. Every year I go back and mentor about 10 students in that B school. It's a year-long relationship. Some of the relationship continues even after the mentoring. Some of the students, I've been doing this for the last 3 years. I mentored about 30 students already. I'm going to mentor 10 more in the coming academic year. But if not all of them, at least 30 to 40% of them are in touch with me on a regular basis, even after mentoring tenure has come. Interesting findings from the mentoring session. The first time I mentored a group of students, this is a one-on-one mentoring session. In the first batch, 8 out of 10 students in that B school told me, "Sir, I do not want to pursue this MBA education." I said, "Why?" One of the boys who hails from Kolkata says, "I'm a musician, I love music, I wanted to pursue my career in music." I said, "Why didn't you do that?" He said, "My dad has put me in this school." I said, "But why didn't you tell your dad?" He said, "I had no idea at that point in time because most of my friends were also joining MBA." And then I said, "My dear friend, why don't you drop out now? Why do you want to study against your will?" He said, "Sir, I can't do that. My dad, who's a middle class person, who was working in the government, has put all his life savings into my education. I cannot let him down today. If I drop out of this college, what will happen? All his life savings he has put in my education." So this is the sorry state of affairs in our education system. Please believe me, 8 out of 10 students I met in the first batch told me with great confidence that we do not want to pursue. So this throws up another lacuna in our system where students get into an education space where neither they're interested nor they have the ability to pursue their interest lies somewhere else. So I believe that if you really have to go back and provide career counseling, it cannot start at the university. It cannot start in colleges. It has to start in schools. If in schools, if you can provide the right career counseling to children, and when they're in 7th, 8th, and 9th standard,